Thank you everyone who have turned up this morning. This is the fourth time we've done this event. As you can tell, it's very informal. If you haven't tried the samosas already, please do, because you're missing out. We take the spice out to make it a breakfast samosa essentially. And obviously it's free breakfast, tea and coffee, but the benefit of it is it's all about to be educational. And what we do today is going to talk about setting up a basic PPC campaign, which is a Google Ads, text ads campaign. We've got a free tool to give out at the end as well. What I'm going to do is just start with a bit of an introduction in terms of who we are. So we're Bobble Digital. If you want to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook or Twitter, use the @BobbleDigital handle. You can take pictures and videos of me. It's completely GDPR compliant. I give you my permission. Use hashtag Bobble Bitesize, Bobble Digital, Bobble Insights, but this side of the beard's better, so always take the right side of a picture. So quickly, who are we? We host this event, so we're not WYSI Workspace. There's quite a few new people come in. We're Bobble Digital. We use some of the office spaces here, and we're working with WYSI Workspace to offer this free monthly networking event and an educational piece about digital marketing, so you can come, create new business contacts, but learn something fun about digital marketing. We're an agile digital marketing agency, which means we develop digital marketing strategies to help our clients and deliver digital growth. And we do that through three key services. Strategy, helping you understand who and where and how to target your desired audience. Digital marketing, everything from PPC, SEO, paid social media, video advertising, digital out of home, digital TV, etc. And analytics is something that we do because if you're running a lot of digital channels, you want to know which is providing the best ROI. So we provide an online dashboard platform which brings all these channels together to show you where to best spend your money to get the best results for you. In terms of digital marketing, this is what I mean: pay-per-click, search engine, paid, organic social media, online display video campaigns, along with a host of other services. All this information is available on our website. So let's get straight into it. The whole focus of today's quick presentation seminar is for you to understand how to set up a PPC campaign on Google Ads. So we're just going to get straight into it. So before you begin, as a business, you'll be thinking, what is Google? How am I going to do it? Where do I start? But there's a couple of tips that you need to prepare before you start. And one is make sure your website is designed to help users through that purchase funnel. Example, make sure if you've got an online store, so if you're an e-commerce client, you want to make sure it's easy for them to buy. If you're selling services, you want to make sure you have a lead form or some kind of data capture on there to make sure you can capture that information. So if you're driving people to your website using Google Text Ads, you want to be able to make sure you can capture and convert those potential traffic customers to your website by making sure it's set up and designed to help users through the purchase funnel. Second is budget. Google Ads isn't free. You need to have a dedicated budget to run across that. Whether you use an agency or you do it yourself, you need to have a budget in mind. So make sure you have a specific budget in mind. The best way to look at this is understand how many new customers you want and how much you're willing to pay per customer, and then take it from that. We would suggest running a minimum of £500 a month on Google, because with Google you pay per click, which is why it's called PPC, pay per click. And a click can cost anything from 20p to £25, depending on the type of keyword you're using. And the whole process of today is for which to show you how to get the best out of that. But if you don't know where to start in terms of the types of products and services you want to focus on a budget, think, what are you selling well of, or what do you need to improve on in terms of sales? Whether that's e-commerce or services, and maybe focus on those kind of services and products to help you understand what kind of keywords to start using before you start a campaign. So now that you know your website's up to scratch, you've got a budget in mind, you know where to start, this is a simple campaign structure that you should really follow. So there are 5 layers to this. At the top, you've got your campaign, which is a search service, which is Google Ads. So that campaign, and we'll use us as an example, could be, we're going to call it search. So we call it search services. So we're going to push out 2 of our services, PPC and SEO. Then you've got your ad group. So your ad group breaks down your different services into different sectors. So we've got 2 products here. We've got PPC services that we offer, and we have SEO services offer. So I'm going to put PPC into one ad group and SEO into a separate ad group, because they're 2 different services and they require different keywords with them. Then you have your keyword analysis, and you would normally have up to 6 to 10 keywords maximum. So for example, a keyword might be PPC agency, or pay-per-click agency leads, for example. So that is classed as a keyword. We'll go into more detail about different types of keywords later on in the presentation. Then you've got your ads. So the ad will say, you know, Bobble Digital, PPC agency and leads, and have different headlines, but we'll get into breaking down how you set up a text ad and some top tips around that. And then you've got extensions. And this is an area people forget, because once you've got your ad, you want to make sure you have key extensions such as call out, so people can call your business, or drive them to particular pages where you have them taking them direct to the store, or taking them directly to the lead form, or taking them direct to specific pages. So if you go on Bobble Digital, you'll just go to our home page. But as an extension, I could just put PPC services under the text ad and drive them directly to the page that they're interested in without having to go to the home page directly. All right, so when you get into Google, this is what you're going to see. So we're just taking some screenshots to understand what it is that you've got to do. So you've got to have a campaign objective, and this is why we said before you begin, understand your budget and what you want to do. So if you want to focus on selling products or driving leads, you would pick the right appropriate objective for you. Normally, most people would go for sales or leads. You can go for website traffic, but again, it's a very difficult one, because the whole point of doing Google AdWords is you want to see some kind of ROI or some kind of end call to action or result as a result of your campaign. You've got stuff like app promotion. So if you're an app-based company, you can drive app downloads through Google. You can do brand awareness reach and product and brand consideration. Normally, the two ones you'd go for is these sales and leads. Then it gives you a campaign type. So Google Ads offers you so many different types of product services. Through Google, you can do normal search text ads, you can do display, so those ads that appear when you're like looking at football results on Sky Sports, or if you're on eBay. You've got Google Shopping, so a lot of you will know that when you search for different types of products, they come up straight away. Video, so obviously Google on YouTube, so all the pre-roll YouTube and YouTube advertising is done through Google Ads. And then you've got Smart, which is more advanced, but it's more automated, so it lets Google do the work. We don't advise you do that one, because we advise you have more control over your campaign and know what you're doing. For this purpose, we're going to be looking at search only, which is looking at text ads. And to set up a campaign, there are 4 key stages which we're going to go through to set it up, which is you're going to have your campaign settings, your ad group setup, which we talked about, how to create an ad, and then finally how you're going to track the impact of your work. So campaign settings. So with so many options to choose from, we provided a quick guide here to ensure that your campaigns are set up to deliver results. So the first thing that you can look at, and again, we've taken screenshots from a full setup from a PPC campaign to make it easier for you, is location and language. So you can set your location to any city, points of interest, regions, nationally or by country. So you have different reasons. So if we looked at United Kingdom, we type in Leeds, we can target Leeds. It tells us our reach is around about 3.8 million. Or I could do Leeds Beckett's University, or I could do West Yorkshire, England, and target 4.7 million. So you can target the area you want down to city, and in some cases, if you're doing display, you can go down to postcode level. So you can be very narrow with your audience. So don't just think if you do text ads, you're targeting the whole of the UK, the whole world. You can just target the city in which you work and where you want your customers to come from. And then you can target in terms of how you're going to target the people in that location. It gives you different options. So we've pre-selected the 2 that you should go for. So in terms of target, you should target people in who will show interest in your target locations, which is what's recommended by Google. And again, exclude people who show interest or exclude locations, but we haven't put any exclude locations in here. So when you target X areas, you could say, I want to target West Yorkshire, but exclude Bradford. So you could do that as an option. So if you think, I don't want to target Bradford, it's not the place for me. Not to say anything bad about Bradford, or if anyone is from Bradford, I'm not trying to say that. It's just not my personal choice of where I would target. So yeah, you can, I know, we're joking. So yeah, you can exclude certain cities. So if you are targeting a region, but you want to exclude certain areas or target certain cities, you can be very specific in terms of what you want to do. Then you've got your budget and bidding. That's why we say, obviously, have a budget in mind, because it tells you how much do you want to spend each day. It gives you a limit, and you can set limits up each day. So if you're spending £500 over 30 days, that's around about £16.60. Very quick maths. So £16.60 isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things, but if you're targeting leads with just a couple of ad groups focused on specific keywords, that can be quite effective, because you're targeting the product and services you want to focus on, you target the area that you want to be in, and then you can actually focus your budget on the areas that quite matter. Then you've got bidding. Now, what Google recommends is 4 bidding types: conversion, conversion value, clicks, impression, share. The majority of people go with clicks. However, It says do not recommend here. Always click on that because it's a better option. Obviously, Google wants you to do what they want to do, but as experts in the industry, we know what works more effectively. So if you click on that little option when it comes to bidding, you get all these other options that come up. And we always suggest looking for maximizing clicks on manual CPC. The reason for that is you have more control over your budgets and keywords. If you go from manual CPC, you can bid on each individual keyword separately. So in one ad group, you've got 6 keywords and you've got a different bid for each keyword. Whereas if you just go for clicks or the generic one, you'll be bidding £1.50 on every single keyword. But you might have to bid higher on other keywords to get more traction or to get that #1 position on Google. So we always say use your manual CPC. The only drawback of that is you have to spend more time monitoring your campaign because bids will change depending on how much the volume increases on that search term or keyword. So the bid might increase or it might decrease, so you don't want to overpay on what you're doing, but you can put some rules in to, let's say, enhance where it will drop or go above the bid to make sure it gets that recommended click. And then ad extensions. This is key in the setup phase because when you get to creating the ad, you'll be able to add these elements in at the end. So, oh, sorry, one thing I forgot is there's other settings here. So if you want to run your ad campaigns by ad schedule, you can run it on particular days at particular times. So you can say, I don't want to run it on Saturday and Sunday because our offices are closed. We can't take any calls or lead forms, or we can't deal with any orders over the weekend, just Monday to Friday. So you can schedule your campaign as you want, and you can focus your campaigns to focus on the best performing text ads. In terms of ad extensions, these are really, really key to making your text ads more prevalent within the space. So if you think you're going to pay on Google, you want to take as much space as you want, the more ad extensions you have are good. We recommend as a bare minimum to have the site link, call out, call extension, and structured snippet. The others depend on the type of business you are and whether it's relevant to you, such as app extension. So if you offer an app, then by all means have that in. If you want to do kind of promotion or particular price you want to promote, then you can have those extensions in place. And what these extensions do is just helps people you can direct people to either call you directly from clicking on the ad or like drive them to particular key pages as we alluded to previously in the pres. And then once you've got all that set up, it takes you to another section called ad groups. So ad groups are where you break out your products or service into different keywords to separate the areas, and the key area of that is keyword planning. And keyword planning is key. So one tool you can use is when you're setting up is if you go to the top of Google and click on tools and settings, you want to go to keyword planner. Keyword planner is a great tool. It's a free tool by Google, but you need to have a Google ad account set up. You can have a Google ad account and not have anything run to use this platform, so it's a very cool and effective tool to use. So what you can do on there is quite a few things. You can find the keywords that are relevant to you. So when you go on Keyword Planner, it says enter a phrase or a keyword or a URL related to what you do. So what I could do is I could copy and paste the URL for our PPC services, drop that in, or type in pay-per-click, and it'll come up with a number of services. For this extension, we did suggestions for SEO. So there are 106 keyword ideas in total for this area. For each suggestion you'll see average monthly searches. So I'll just come on this side. So what this shows is, it shows how many people are searching for these kind of keywords on a monthly basis. So we've got anything from 10,000 to 100,000. So it's between 10 and 100,000 people searching for these particular keywords like SEO clerks or Majestic SEO Yoast, for example. Plus it tells you to get to the top of the page how much you're going to have to bid for the individual page, and that's why your budget and your keyword budget is key in having a page. To get top page in terms of high range, it tells you how much it is, and you can see so in some cases it goes from £130 to £13. So it can be, our area is very competitive, but it really depends on the product area you're looking for. But you're not limited to just single words or phrases. You can enter up to 10 keywords at a time to come up with different options. But here's a quick tip that people don't realize you can do. You can either put in a URL or keywords, but you can actually put them together. So you can have 10 keywords and also put in a URL when you're searching for keyword ideas, and it'll come up with better results. So always try that. Put in the URL of the page where you want people to go to on your business and type in the keywords you think are relevant to that keyword, and it'll come up with ideas, then what you can do is you can actually export those keywords out into an Excel and look to see how effective they are and which ones are relevant to your content and product or service. Then you've got different types of keyword types. So it comes up with all these keyword searches, but then when you're setting up your ad groups, you can set them up in specific ways within the campaign. So you've got everything from broad match modifier, phrase, and exact, and this is what it is. Broad match are basically, it automatically runs relevant variations. So if I type in, for example, SEO services, it'll use the word services and it'll find relevant keywords to that. So it's very broad, and you just put in that keyword on its own within the ad group. So once you get ad groups and you put in the 6 keywords, you can put in SEO services as a broad match, but that's not that effective because it'll pick up any of the keywords within that and will find any other related keywords. So it really increases your reach, but it means you might get more irrelevant clicks on your ad and to your website, which can potentially waste budget. Then you've got phrase match, which essentially just puts quote symbols around that word. So if you've got SEO services, we've just put the word here, for example, it just puts speech marks around it. And what that does, it shows any queries related to just those kind of keywords. So it's just SEO services or SEO with something else or something else with services on its own. So it brings that down a little. Then you've got exact match. So these are done in what we call brackets, so square brackets. So if someone only types in SEO services on Google, that's all our ad will appear. Nothing else, anything related to that keyword, just that keyword individually. And if for the type of business in this room, I would recommend going for exact match, understanding the exact keywords based on the keyword planning you've done, and focusing on just those keywords directly and bidding on that if you've just got a few keywords to focus on, because then you don't want to be matching with other irrelevant keywords and driving irrelevant traffic, especially if you've got a budget like £500. If you're a bigger company and you've got spends of thousands of pounds, then yes, you can use different types of broad match, phrase match, and it can be more effective because you can drive your reach and you might drive more conversions, but it does increase your cost per lead or cost per acquisition. And then finally, broad match modifier. This is basically adding a plus symbol between words. So you can say, I want SEO and PPC. So I could set up an ad group for both and say, anything that comes with SEO and PPC, I want my ad to appear on Google because they've searched for those 2 keywords together in a sentence on Google. So I want them to appear together at the same time. So this kind of graph just kind of explains how it works. Obviously, when you've got broad match, you've got broad targeting, you've got the highest reach. But when you go exact, you've got the lowest reach, but you've got that sharper targeting because they're just searching for those particular keywords. Right, so once you've got your keywords, you understand how you're going to use them, where you're going to use the exact match, the type of keywords, the ad groups, you've got that all set up, you want to create your ad. So we recommend having at least 2 to 3 different text ads to run against each ad group to drive effectiveness, to allow ad rotation, and to allow you to focus on, well, to see which ad performs best in terms of driving conversions. So there's a full process that you can follow to create ads, and it kind of creates a mock-up. So again, this is within Google when you go in. So the process you follow is you can have your final URL here, or you can have like a custom URL if you want to track people that are coming from that channel. Then you have your headline. So each headline has a 30-character limit. So what we've done for this process is we've just created a headline. So award-winning PPC agency, Premier Google partner, get a free PPC review. And then obviously we've got our website here, and you can add particular display paths. So I want to say bobbledigital.com/PPC, because when they click on it, they think they're going to go to a PPC landing page. So that's the services they're looking for. Then you can add up to 2 descriptions, which add the detailed text. So your headline should focus on your call to actions, your core USP, what is it about them they want to do. If they search for PPC agency, we focus on award-winning PPA agency, premier partner, and get yourself a free PPC review, which entices them to click on the ad and go to our website. The description provides a bit more detail about why they should actually click through. So, we run Google ad campaigns, delivering a strong ROI. We have over 40 years combined experience to request a free consultation and PPC review now. So you can provide a bit more detail about what it is, who you are, and what you do. Then the next stage after that is extensions. So as you can see right here, we've added in the call extension so they can call us directly. So when they're on the mobile and they see that, they can click on that. And then we've got an extension here that says, get a free audit. So we can drive them to a page or a particular call to action. So that's where those ad extensions we discussed at the start are relevant because you would then add them in at this stage of the process. And then finally, you've got your campaign set up, you've got your budget, you've got your strategy in place, you've done your keyword research and planning, you've got your ads created and your ad extensions done. You want to make sure you set up some tracking, because the last thing you want to do is run campaigns and not know the impact it's had on the actual results in terms of ROI. So again, when you go into settings, you can click on conversions and you can set up conversions for different types of things. So here's an example of what we've set up just for this campaign. So we can track calls from the ads. So because we've got a call extension on there, we've got calls from the ads. We can then track website visits or clicks to calls on our website, or we can drive other types of engagements that you want. So on there, you could have someone clicking on a lead form button, so clicking the submit button or contact us form button, and then within that, all those conversions appear on your campaign, and when you look at the results, they break out by ad group and by keyword, so you can see which keyword is performing best in terms of driving conversions, conversion rates, and the best ROI. So you can actually add a value to that as well if you want to. So you can say like a lead form to me is worth around about £50, or you know, if you're going to drive people to an audit which costs like £500, for example, you know there's a value for what you're doing. But again, if you're an e-commerce site, you want to know what the average basket value is, so you want to be able to track the value of someone buying through your Google Ads campaign. And one thing we're just going to go through now is we've got this free PPC Planner tool that you can take away with you, which makes this whole process easier. I'm just going to quickly go through it for 2 seconds. So what it does is, when you get through the different services, it allows you to build the keywords by different types. So we've got broad match, phrase match, and exact match. So instead of having you to actually physically put the brackets around each keyword, what you can do is you can actually type your keywords into here, and it'll come up here into different types, and all you can do is copy and paste that into your ad group as you want. This is a free tool we're happy to give away to anyone who requests it. So I could type in here, just delete all that out, and just type in here PPC, and then obviously it's going to start coming up, and I can put agency, if I can spell it right, and then I got services. And then it comes up as different keywords. And then I could have like leads here, and then it'll come up with different kind of keywords. You can just copy and paste the right one into your campaign. I'd recommend copy and building into what we call the campaign builder, which is just what is your campaign, what's your ad group called, the match type you want to use, and the keyword you want to put in there. But also to help you with the text ad creation, this tool is really good, because what you can do is we've pre-created the same tool on Google but in an Excel. So you can type in your headline in here, so we could say PPC agency leads, sorry if I got that right, and if I click out, you'll see that it changes how many characters I've got left, 14. So you can actually plan it here, so you can actually play around with the, you know, the type of call to actions, USPs you want to put in your headlines, and it actually makes it easy, because then you can, as you go across, you can put in your description, so it's got the 90 field there, and then you can actually pre-plan what are the ad extensions I want to use. So we had a phone call, site links to services about us, any call outs, any negative keyword list. So this is a really good tool to use if you're planning and setting up a campaign, because essentially what you would do is you'd build it here and then just copy and paste it into your Google campaign. If you have Google AdWords Editor, which is another tool, and we're happy to do another presentation on that, you can actually upload this Excel to that, and it creates the campaign on Google for you, saving a lot of time. It's something that us agencies use a lot, because we have to deal with a lot of campaigns, a lot of changes. So AdWords Editor is a really good tool to use. There's a lot of content about it online to look at, but a tool like this works really well with that, or it helps you plan out your campaign easily and quickly, and you can take it away. So if you want this, just contact us and we'll drop it. But what we'll do is we'll just send it as an email to everyone who registered to attend. So you have that tool, so you can walk away with that for free. You know, it's easy to use, and that's the free tool. And all that's left to say is, are there any questions? I went through a lot in a short space of time, I understand, but hopefully you should get an idea of the different types of processes you should follow through. Right, any questions? If no, that means I've done a really, really good job. You know what I mean? I'll confuse everyone. And they're like, is the coffee ready, or is it supposed to Just thinking. Yeah, any questions at all in relation to anything?
Can I ask you to just explain the relationship between the campaign settings and the URL that you're setting it to, in other words, the quality score of the campaign?
Yes, so in your campaign settings, you have everything we went through, so your location, your bidding, your ad scheduling, through to your budgeting, through to your ad extensions. Now, the URL you use is key, and which is why we have it within our keyword planner, because if you're just driving people to your home page, but you're focusing on PPC services, you actually want to be driving that person to the URL that says bobbledigi.com, PPC services, and that page directly, because what Google does is it ranks you on a quality score of how good your ad group is, your text ad, and the actual page that you're driving it to. So if the page you're driving it to has the word PPC agency or PPC services, and that's the keyword you're bidding on, and within your text ad you have PPC service agency, then you're going to get a really, really good quality score, and you're more likely to rank higher. So it's something I should have added in. Thanks for highlighting that. So you want to make sure that your URL matches the keyword or the service that you're trying to promote in your ad group, because it improves the overall quality score of your campaign and how Google decides who to place in that top position for its bid. Because it'll say, well, this one's more relevant because it's driving it to a PPC specific page and it's bid on a PPC specific keyword and has a specific PPC keyword within its text ad. But if you're using PPC as an ad group and a keyword but driving them to the Contact Us page, then it's going to say, well, it's got nothing to do with Contact Us, but it's got nothing to do with PPC. So that's why it's important to make sure your website at the beginning, before you start a campaign, is set up to follow that process. So having a lead form on that PPC page is key, because then you want to drive people to that page, but make sure that you capture their data and information to make it sure that it's quality in terms of the traffic you're driving from Google to your campaign. Any other questions?
So, Manu, what's your specialism then? Is it Google?
We're a Google partner agency, so our specialism is Google Ads and Bing Ads as well, and SEO, which is your organic ranking within services, and we specialise in paid campaigns and video and display campaigns. So those 10 key services we showed, that's our speciality as an agency. So we do this day in, day out. We have account managers at Google that we have access into resources, and I've been doing this for nearly 10 years now, so it shows my age a little, so how long we've been doing it for. But yeah, it's one of our specialities, which is why we talk about it. Any other questions? All right, if that's it, I'm just going to do a couple of quick notices. Next event is December the 4th, where we're going to talk about seasonal advertising, so how you can break through all the clutter online and get your message through in such a busy digital marketing period where everyone's trying to get you to buy something. You can sign for that now, and if you want a free consultation strategy, speak to any of us at the services we offer. What I'll do is I'm just going to do a quick free raffle. We've got a couple of prizes here. It's Christmas, so we started to get boxes. So I'll let you pick a random card out of there. We have Keith. Keith.
Right.
Which one would you prefer? Roses. Roses. Right. It's not rigged, so do you want to pick a card out?
Mr. Yorkshire.
Yeah. And we have Zach Mormon, media sales agent. Yay, there you go. So, yeah. Yeah. See, it's a good networking event. We give you free prizes as well.
You see, he'll take him into office.
Yeah, look what I All right, help yourselves to breakfast, tea and coffee. That's it from us. Please do join us on December the 4th. Any questions, come see me at the end. All right, thank you.